G'day guys and welcome to Perth. This week we're starting off a brand new adventure in Western Australia. We're starting with a big meetup under the power lines. We're going to have a stack of vehicles and local characters there to catch up with. We're then moving on to Julimar, exploring the forests, the muddy tracks and the fun that this region has to offer. I'm Simon Christie. Come along for the ride guys, it's going to be an action-packed weekend. Now this isn't the first time we've been over. 2024 had us down in Pemberton, and last year we were checking out the Denmark beaches. But that's just a little slice of what's on offer here. Western Australia is a gorgeous part of the world. There are some amazing tracks to drive, and the four-wheel driving community here is next level. It's a bit of a trek for us Victorians to get over. And then there's the flight pickups, vehicle loans, accommodation and drivers to line up. Thankfully, the community always looks out for one another, and we've been lucky enough to partner with some local businesses this weekend, including Integrity Tyres. Keep an eye out for our Tyre Tips episode coming soon. It'll have some great ways to keep you, your wallet and your car safe, whether it's in the garage, on the bitumen or out hitting the tracks. First things first, we've got to catch up with TJM and get the band back together. While I chew some ears off, the cars are packed and the cameras locked and loaded. We're rolling deep today and everyone's set. Time to get our A into G.
We're off to the Mundaring Powerlines to have a meet and greet with a bunch of the Perth locals. It's going to be a great day, weather's looking mint. And here we are, pulling up. Already a bunch of cars here.
Oh yeah.
What a cracking start to the afternoon. We're early and there's at least 35 cars already. With all these vehicles still arriving, I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be hitting the triple digits this time.
Don't film this!
He's not with us, that's a different TJM. We're at the Mundaring Powerlines, one of the toughest sets of tracks and one of the closest to Perth itself. And we're here with a stack of mates. We're about set to hit the tracks, so let's find out what's going on.
We're from Perth Jeep community. We're out here with a bunch of Jeeps today. We plan to have a bit of fun, get dirty. Hopefully we don't break anything.
Or embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
My name's Anthony. This is my GU Patrol comp truck. So it's got a 3-link in the front, 4-link in the rear, air shocks in the rear, flexi coils, external cage, everything like that. Gonna go down the tracks here and have a bit of fun.
Hey, Leighton from Black Duck here, just out here at the Mundaring Powerlines with 4-wheel drive TV. Something I've never done before. It's pretty amazing to see how many vehicles have rocked up. I reckon 80 cars, if not more. It's, amazing to look at.
Leighton, me boy, you think this is impressive? Wait until you see this colossal convoy in motion.
The national clean up your app to keep our bush clean. The Clean Up the Bush is a national thing regarding picking up the rubbish when you're out in the bush, taking more out than when you go in. Take yourself a little doggy bag, biodegradable, put your toilet paper in, dump it in the bin. Oh, I put a doggy bag on it! Yeah, I know, it's more rubbish. That's so cute. Is it biodegradable? It is. Ooh. We're looking for members to join our clubs. We have 19 clubs in WA. Without clubs, we don't have a voice in WA or nationally with the government, and that's what the association does. We're the peak body to support keeping these tracks open, looking after the environment and doing the right thing and doing lots of education. Without us, no one's talking to the government and telling us how good we can do it. I'm going to say hello to Aria, my daughter, and to all the associated clubs in WA and nationally.
I'm Jared. I was here last year with the group. It's an MN Triton IFS, so it's not really meant for doing the really, really hard stuff. I like to challenge myself, but most of the time I go, I've got to drive this home, so take it a bit easy.
Obviously you can see the Mundaring track, and I think we're just going to take the easy route today.
Yeah.
In the new Super Duty, so yeah. Made for touring, made for towing, and we'll see what it can do on the tracks, I guess. Yeah.
I found out about this event, told the boys, you get the truck ready, we're going to go out. So we've hooked up some breathers to the winch and dynoed it this morning as well. Did 314 horsepower to 35s. And I brought one of my workers down to drive it as a treat. So yeah, we can have some fun and drive all the hard tracks and grab some dinner, I reckon.
A unique build here in Mundaring amongst all the other cars. You got a Oddity, a f***ing Triton, which looks a tad bit different, but is hiding a bit of a secret under the bonnet. It's a 4M41 built, compound turbo, just hasn't been tuned yet. A rarity out in the wild.
Watched a bit of a video from last year and there was about 50 or so people, so I thought I'd come out today and have a look. I'm going to tank 300.
Tank 300, yeah. You're going to take the easy route or the hard routes up?
Oh, the easy route, mate. I'm a learner. Novice, I am.
Yeah.
That's why I've come out to watch all these other guys and hopefully learn something.
Should be plenty to watch.
Yeah, I think so.
Driver briefing! Driver briefing! Driver briefing! Driver briefing!
All right, today is really simple, guys. We're just gonna have some fun. Go for a nice, easy drive. No burnouts, no donuts, no carrying on. Yeah, is he one of those, is he? You keep him under control, all right? If anybody hasn't done any four-wheel driving and you're not sure about stuff, ask us. We're more than happy to help, give some spotting, give some guidance. We're here to have fun, not to laugh at people. SJ has been handing out some rubbish bags, very responsible. That's what we like to see. We don't want to see people leaving their mud flaps like, honey, was that Black Duck? Not naming anybody, of course, not pointing the finger of blame. Leighton from Black Duck? No. We'll pick that up before we go. Jump in your cars, make some sort of orderly convoy. Just let's be patient and make it all happen. Thank you guys for turning up and coming down. Let's go Perth, four-wheel driving. Woo. With the roar of engines, the convoy rolls out. There's a buzz of excitement as everyone climbs into their rigs, snaking their way out of the staging area. It's all part of the fun as the convoy comes together and the adventure gets underway. Some drivers can't wait to get into the action, making the most of the ruts and bumps on the way out and giving their suspension a bit of a warm-up. Well, that's true for most of them. One bumper has already found something solid to say hello to. For this event, it looks like we have at least one of everything, sometimes even more. Old and new, big and small, it seems like half of Perth has come out to celebrate the day with us and show everyone just how active the local 4x4 scene is. It's awesome. From ripper little Suzukis through to ex-military Land Rovers, we are loving the enthusiasm and variety. But what is that beast crawling through the ditch?
Hi, I'm Simon. This is my 1976 Land Rover 101 forward control. We're out here today at the Powerlines with Simon Christie and the four-wheel drive team. We're going to have a bit of a drive up the track in a minute and give the girl a bit of a test and see how she goes. Hopefully she doesn't let us down. She is a 1976, don't forget.
You certainly don't see these every day, built with the driver sitting over the front axle to maximise load space and payload while keeping the vehicle surprisingly compact. They worked hard all over the world with the military, emergency services and industry, but very few made their way to Australia. These days, they're a rare piece of four-wheel drive history and always attract plenty of attention wherever they go. And how about this big, bad but beautiful banana? This stunningly restored International Scout is a true four-wheel drive icon. Introduced in 1961, it was one of the world's first recreational four-wheel drives, combining rugged off-road capability with everyday practicality. They were never common in Australia, making examples like this highly sought after by collectors, and a real pleasure to see out on the tracks. Looking around today's convoy, it's clear there's no one-size-fits-all approach to setting up a four-wheel drive. The same goes for tyres. The right choice depends on what you drive, how you drive, and where you drive. Here's a quick tyre tip for you. Looks are definitely important, but there are trends on social media that are trying to tell you to pick a particular type of tyre, and often it's not the right tyre for your particular use. it's easy to admire an aggressive or oversized tyre setup. The challenge is remembering that what works for one vehicle may not work for another, and the brand that is on every Instagram pic may well be a case of cheap influencer marketing and not best real-world practices. Many of the aspirational vehicles online have been built for very specific purposes. Their choices reflect that, and it's not always about actual performance. Instead of looking at which tyre is most popular on social media at the moment, look at what brand and tyre type will best suit your application and your driving technique. A practical option may not always be the most exciting choice, but it's usually the one you'll be the happiest with for the long term and the tyre that you'll get the most life and value from. The convoy comes across a couple of puddle-filled transits along the way. Nothing too challenging, just the perfect chance to get the tyres wet and everyone into the off-road spirit. Every good four-wheel drive deserves a mud bath, as long as I'm not the one who has to clean it afterwards. Nothing brings out a smile quite like a good splash. Maybe this one, though, is a little too much for some, and it is wiser to avoid it. Some are taking the sensible line, carefully picking their way around the puddles and keeping the mud to a minimum. Others, however, are testing the water seals and seeing just how much splash these rigs can create. And big or small, old or new, everyone is keen to get amongst the action. Although this guy looks like he forgot half of his wagon, he doesn't seem to mind. Yeah, rock on, mate. It may be a long line, but this is no car park and everyone is getting a turn. Everyone's got their own technique. Some just use a little more throttle than others. What an awesome turnout. What a great day, and we are loving interacting with the local community. Hello! The puddles were only the warm-up. The real challenge is waiting just up ahead. The convoy lines up at a hill descent, and one by one, everyone starts making their way through the twists, drops, and challenging terrain. With so many makes, models, and characters, it is awesome watching how each one flexes their way down this section. There's no fear, and plenty of attitude in every line. That suspension is earning its keep today. And there it is again, that same grin from earlier. I think we found someone who really enjoys a challenge. Just like Sarah here, who is representing the WA Four-Wheel Drive Association and doing them proud. Sarah loves her Colorado 7 and enjoys testing it and its accessories. Whoa! It's a moment like this where you find out who packs spare underwear. But these guys don't look phased at all. As cool as a cucumber and just as green. There's plenty going on to keep everyone entertained, and there's no shortage of bypass tracks for those who want to get ahead, while others are super keen to tackle as many hard lines as they can. It's been a cracking run of wheel lifts, but we reckon the gold star for the highest one goes to Koishi. The hill descent has been handled, and now the convoy has arrived at the hill climb. The engines are rumbling, and the track ahead is ready to put these rigs to work. That's smile number 3 now. This driver has definitely found his happy place behind the wheel. The climb's far from over and the toughest section is still ahead. There's plenty more waiting as we continue the ascent. This challenge is a bit of fun. Wet your wheels for a higher difficulty. They then choose which route they want and send it.
Multiple choices of which way you could go up. Some took an easier way, but none of them were that easy.
As evidenced by these guys. We'll get them sorted out later on. Beep, beep, big bus coming through. Let's hope there's no one in the back right now. It's struggling, but this thing is unstoppable.
I felt sorry for the camera guys because there's so many lines out there. Guys going up on the right-hand side of the track while there was action going on the left-hand side of the track. There's still people coming around on the other side. It was organised chaos.
We're starting to get some wheel lifts now. Nothing too crazy, but definitely a bit of fun to watch. I think you're a bit too low for that line, my boy. Watching these legends have a crack at this climb is making me wish I had my 40 here with me. Man, I love this stuff. Getting to see all these awesome rigs tackle this climb is so much fun. Let's check out the next section. And as per usual, TJM are leading the way.
Look at that black duck.
Seeing the black duck Triton makes you want to say, hell yeah. Am I right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, hello, Liam. Now that's a wheel lift.
People with the more serious off-roading vehicles, they were just crazy lines. I look at it as a tourer and go, oh, I wouldn't have driven that. You know, we had a trip this weekend.
That thing is more flexible than a gymnast without a fixed home loan rate.
There's still enough there to have fun without pushing the car to the point where you break it.
Well, that's good news for this guy because mo wheels, mo problems, or whatever Biggie said.
We had Jeeps there, we had Patrols, we had Land Rovers there.
The WA four-wheel driving community is really strong, really supportive of each other. Everybody's cheering, woo, helping and getting involved, and it's really good as a member of the four-wheel driving community to see everybody getting involved and backing everybody and cheering on, and warms the heart.
Check out those short wheelbases. Who said size matters? In all seriousness, it's pretty cool to see the variety of cars here. Even this thing.
That Forester was giving it some. I was actually well impressed with that car.
Everybody's getting their wheels up now. As we're moving to the next challenge, some people take the opportunity to check out other people's vehicles. while others need to take the time to check out their own cars. And then we surge onwards.
Guys, this is crazy. The Powerlines track is just phenomenal. And what a group we've had wheeling through here. It's just nuts, and it's not stopping. They're still going. 100 cars plus. I've no idea how many, we'll try and make it count. But it's been a ripper day. Perth, the four-wheel drivers have really turned it on for us. Absolutely love it, guys. And if you haven't tried it before, come out and have a crack at the Powerlines. Awesome tracks, awesome views, and another amazing sunset here in WA.
The sun's starting to disappear, and I know from last time that there's a pretty cool climb coming up soon. That's bound to be a bit of fun for this convoy. Speaking of, I've been absolutely impressed by this group and how respectful of the environment they are.
I saw people picking up rubbish on the side of the track. It's important that we keep these tracks open for people to get out and do the stuff that we all love.
They've also been helping beginners out. There's been zero hotheads, and they're all cheering each other on. For a lot of the guys in company vehicles, the easier track is the right choice here. But not for everyone. Harley in the TJM Amarok has decided he's going a different route. Getting a helping hand down the right side entrance, he's then going to give the proper challenge a crack. I asked Harley before he took on this challenge whether he was worried about the rocks. He said, "No, I am a rock." You get it? Like the model of the car he has? Never mind. Anyway, he's doing really well here, getting one or two wheels in the air but remaining completely in control and making all the right choices. Bit of a slippery section there, but it's no problem for this locked rock. Back at the top, the rest of the cars are beginning to make their way down to the main event. But even the entrance is getting everyone's suspension working. In the spirit of the day, people aren't necessarily taking the most optimum line, instead opting for the most fun one. Oh, he just got pumpkin pied! And here's one of the favourites of the day. That thing looks like a brick with wheels, but it's been smashing the challenges so far. It's absolutely blown us away to have over double the amount of cars we had last year. But really, it shouldn't surprise us, seeing as how four-wheel drives are a massive part of the culture out here. Victoria has a very strong off-road culture, but even just driving down the streets here, you can see most households have at least one off-road rig in their driveways. Whoa, is that Gene Simmons in car form? It was made for loving off-road. Sorry about that. I actually have a very important question for you all. Seeing as this car is missing half its body, do you think it's called a Toyland or an Autocruiser? It looks like there's just a few more cars that need to make their way down. Seeing all of them give this next challenge a go should be the most interesting part of this entire day.
It was a bit of a big steep decline into a nice little rock garden, but it was another steep incline up the other end.
It's very tight. I've personally seen a lot of people bang panels there. It's such a great climb, and if you tackle it with the right precision, you can definitely weasel your way through it without damaging the vehicle too much.
This climb is far from easy. It will take skill and determination to conquer this one. Stay tuned to see how the rest of the convoy tackle this epic final climb. It won't be one to miss. But before that, coming up next week,